All right, let's talk a little Odell Beckham here. This is from Larry Steinbacher in Medina. He says, "Hey, Mary Kay, is Odell Beckham Jr. really okay? The tape of him working out pregame did not look like he was running free and easy. Odell came out a few hours before the game and kind of did some stretching, walkthrough type stuff, barefoot around the field. People I tweeted that out, and people, of course, there were the Braylon Edwards things, and like, this is sort of what the Browns do in walkthroughs. Guys wear sandals, they go barefoot. It's just to sort of slow them down. Kevin Stefanski has explained that. Don't get caught up in that. But he did some kind of calisthenics, some stretching around the field, and then he came out and he wasn't doing a whole lot kind of before inactives came out. So it started to look like he had decided, and Kevin had decided not to play him. Any concern that he's not close, I guess?
You know what? It's shrouded in a bit of mystery, to be honest with you, Dan, because I fully expected him to play. I had talked to people that kind of gave me the impression that they felt he was ready to go. I was very surprised that he decided not to play. I mean, you started to, as the week went along and he didn't talk to us, he didn't talk to media, you started to have to wonder, maybe this wasn't going exactly the way everyone had planned. But I really don't have a tremendous handle on it yet in terms of, was there a tiny bit of a setback? Did he ramp it up to a certain point and feel like that was too much too soon? Because for the most part, we have not seen him in team drills. We saw him in a few 11 on 11s, but he never got the ball in those. He was really, either just, running a route, on a running play, or going against the scout team or something like that.
I don't think there was ever any full speed 11 on 11 either.
Yeah. And so, we didn't really know exactly how he looked in the team drills, but Alex Van Pelt also, I thought Alex Van Pelt was very optimistic when we talked to him this week, and he was all about, acting like Odell was going to be ready to go. I actually think that coaches and people in the organization pretty much thought he was going to play. And I think there was some element of surprise that he didn't play, unless it's gamesmanship, because that happens too, right? I mean, gamesmanship is enormous when you're talking about a big game like this, and it's the truth. I mean, yeah, a guy is questionable. He is 50-50, but I mean, you can shade that over towards looks great, gonna play, can't wait to see him out there, all that kind of stuff, without any penalty, like of fudging the injury report. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was gamesmanship or if he had somewhat of a period of time in practice where he just didn't feel like he could go out there and be Odell. That's another thing that you have to consider with these guys, is they want to look like themselves. I mean, they want to be who they are. They want to be the 3-time Pro Bowler that they are when they're out there. And if they don't feel like they can be that and be full speed and have that confidence, then, that's another thing. And if you're not going to play full speed, then you're going to hurt your football team.
I'm sitting here thinking about the gamesmanship side of things, and something we saw on Friday. Bill Simmons has this thing where he calls himself Conspiracy Bill. I'm going to be Conspiracy Dan for a second here. Mm-hmm. So Odell Beckham in practice on Friday, I'm sure you remember this, he was going first in a lot of the team drills.
Right.
And to a lot of us that indicated, oh, he's probably ready to go.
Right.
At the same time, Odell Beckham never goes first in team drills.
Yeah.
So the Conspiracy Dan part of me is like, well, maybe this was a little gamesmanship. They know we're standing out there watching. Maybe they wanted us to see him go first in team drills and start tweeting that out or writing that in stories or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there seemed to be a sort of an Odell is going to play vibe, like a pretty strong Odell is going to play vibe, ramping it up. I mean, he looked good. There was never a time in practice where I ever thought, boy, that's not the Odell I'm used to seeing, right? I mean, he's looked fast, he's cutting, he's, stretching every part of his body to catch a pass one-handed or whatever he has to do. There was just never a moment where I thought this just isn't going in the right direction. But here's the thing. Now that he didn't play in that game, I wouldn't rush it now. I mean, that was a big, huge game where he could have been the difference in that game. And each game matters so much, but the next several games, I think they can win without him. And therefore, if he doesn't feel ready right now, I would let him sit down for maybe, the next couple weeks or the first quarter of the season and have him for the long haul. You can beat the Texans without Odell Beckham Jr. Why would you risk it against the Texans? So that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, look, you've got the Texans, the Bears, and the Vikings coming up. I mean, the Vikings just lost to the Bengals yesterday.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to overreact to week one, but that's not great for the Vikings. So yeah, maybe you can play it a little safer here moving forward. More wide receiver questions, and this one.